Hello and welcome to GCS Today, here on Channel 21, the program that brings you news and information from Gaston County Schools. I'm Todd Hagans. On today's edition, we talk with one of our teachers who was recently recognized for her outstanding service. And to help celebrate the 50th anniversary of Gaston County Schools, we have a school nurse with us who has been instrumental in helping to make our school nursing program one of the best. Joining me on GCS Today is Joan Campbell. She is the school nurse at W.A. Best Elementary and at Cramerton Middle School. Joan, welcome. So good to see you today. Thank you for being with us. Now, you have been a school nurse for 30 years in Gaston County Schools, and you were one of the original school nurses, one of the first school nurses in Gaston County Schools when the state made it possible through some legislation that you implemented school nurses in school systems. So what has it been like to be a school nurse?
It has been a challenge, and it has been wonderful. So when I started, I was one of 7 school nurses that we had in Gaston County, and I knew the schools were thrilled to have us, but I don't think they quite knew what to do with us. But as nurses, we go in and assess, and we saw lots of needs that we could help out in the schools. And so we kind of really started a program with policies and to put in place to make the health care of children in the schools better and safer, and to be there to support the staff.
And so when you came on board in 1989, it really was a new concept for schools to have a nurse.
Right. I believe before that, nurses would visit from the health department occasionally to do certain things.
Right.
So.
What about your job is exciting? What do you enjoy about being a school nurse? I know that it can be a very demanding job, and I know that sometimes you deal with things that are difficult. But what is exciting about it? What has kept you going over the years?
The children. I love the students. I love the staff, working with a good team. It's challenging because you may have your day planned and walk in, and that's not what you're going to be dealing with that day. So it's always something new, and you're constantly learning yourself because it changes. Healthcare has changed, medicine has changed. So I have learned a lot.
I think it probably is a job that requires someone to be flexible.
Very flexible.
That can step up to the challenge, and that can take, like you said, no 2 days are the same, and you never know what you may encounter. So you have to be that type of person that can respond, keep your cool, and take care of the situation. So what made you decide to become a school nurse?
Well, to be honest with you, I was working with the county. I was over 2 other programs, and I ran into a social worker that I had worked with on certain cases, and she told me that the school system was hiring nurses and social workers to go in, and she was applying and was very excited about it. So I called a friend who worked for Gaston County Schools, and she had me contact someone else that could tell me about it. I had a child who was about 4 years old, and I thought, I like a challenge, I like a change, and this just might be something that I really would like to do, and to go in at the beginning of it and help with the program and setting it up and working within the school community.
And we are so glad you made that decision.
Thank you.
We're so glad that you've been a part of Gaston County Schools for 30 years and to really help shape and stress the importance of school nursing. So thank you for your contributions. When you think about being the school nurse, you really are important to the success of students. How so? How do you factor into helping students be successful?
First of all, you try to make sure their basic needs are met at home, at school. You assess them for their health, because a healthy, as we always say, a healthy child can learn better. And children that have a chronic disease need to be managed so they can be at school. And I know over the years someone goes, well, why is that child even there? They're sick. I go, no, they're not sick. They just have a health condition that we have to manage just like they do at home at school. So that is one of the major things school nurses do, is to constantly assess children, do plans of care, stay in contact with their care provider, their family members, and to help the teachers and staff know, all right, this is what you do for this child, so they will be successful and can, be at school, stay at school, not go home sick.
And that's so important. Because
yes.
Children have to be at school to learn, and when they're at school, you want them to be healthy and as healthy as possible so they can focus on their work and doing well in the classroom. So.
Plus, we also do screenings. So, we check with vision, getting glasses and other. We used to do more screenings, but that has kind of been picked up by other members in the healthcare community too. I just helped with getting referrals for dental screening that the dentist did to provide care to students who needed it.
And we have children in our community that maybe have never been to the dentist or never been to the eye doctor, and so to have a school nurse there to maybe recognize there may be an issue there and to get the help that the child needs. See, that's so extremely important. So thank you for that. Thank you for those things. Now, you are retiring. You have 30 years of service with Gaston County Schools, and you're retiring this year. As you look back on your career, what will you remember most?
I will remember certain little incidences or people that I helped or children that I helped or staff that I helped or family members that I've helped, because I have had to provide care to somebody's grandparent while they were at the school. And it's just certain little things like that I will remember, but I'm mostly going to remember certain children that I just fell in love with and that connected with, and staff. I have worked my whole life, and I tell everybody, don't forget me, because I just, I still want to be part of the team, but from afar.
And that's well deserved.
Right.
You, as they say, you've put your time in. So,
right. But I've worked with some excellent staff, and when you have a good team, you get really good results for the children.
Right. So let's think about school nursing today and people that may think, I might like that as a career. I might think about school nursing. What would you say to someone to encourage that person to become a school nurse?
That if you like community health or working within the community and helping children of all ages, that is the number one place to start, because you may be the only person that sees them and assesses their needs and can step in and get them help when they need it. Now, it is demanding and you are overworked, but it is worth it. It's really worth it. You do probably a lot more than you possibly could think in the end. I still have students that come up to me and remember me from when they were in elementary school. And I have students who now I have their children in my schools.
With your retirement, we're going to let you go, but you've got to promise us that you'll be out there in the community looking for some potential candidates for school nurses and encouraging. When you see someone, you encourage them.
I have.
To be.
I promise you I will.
And to step up and to help us with our school nurses, because school nursing is so important to everything that we do. And over the years, we really appreciate what you've done in being a trailblazer, I guess you could say, for school nursing and to helping shape the school nursing program that we have in Gaston. It's a great program that we have here in Gaston County.
It is.
And we appreciate you being a part of that. We wish you well in retirement and hope that you enjoy some fun and relaxation in retirement.
I'm going to take care of myself.
That sounds, and it's well deserved, and that really sounds great. Joan Campbell, school nurse at W.A. Best Elementary and Cramerton Middle School. Thanks so much for being with us here on GCS Today.
Thank you.
You are watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. We will be right back.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Joining me on GCS Today is Susan Adams. She is a teacher at Southwest Middle School. It is so good to see you today.
Thank you.
And
it's great to be here.
We want to talk about a prestigious award that you received recently. Now, I know that over your career you have received a number of awards, but the most recent award was the Outstanding Service Award given to a Gaston County teacher by the Gaston County JCs. Tell us a little bit about that award and what it was like to be the recipient of the Outstanding Service Award.
Well, first, many, many thanks to Mr. Booker and to Gaston County Schools for the amazing award. It really just touched my heart after all these years to be, recognized for that. And for allowing me to do the job that I love to do. And I thank them. The award was kind of the icing on the cake for doing the job, and thanks again, Gaston County Schools and Mr. Booker.
Well, it's very well deserved.
Thank you.
Because I am aware of the influence that you have been for a number of years for students at Southwest Middle School, and you told me you've been at Southwest for 23 years, but you've been a teacher in Gaston County for a total of 33 years. So
that's correct.
That says
correct.
Says a lot. Now, was there a person or something that inspired you to become a teacher?
I was thinking about that. Not necessarily a person. I always loved school when I was younger, but some friends and I had a blackboard and chalk, and we would every afternoon after school play school, and that just kind of stuck with me, and so I went to Appalachian and became a teacher.
Great. And we've had a number of teachers here on the program, and they share a story very similar to that. It starts as a child, that you just get that interest and that passion for teaching. Now, what do you teach at Southwest?
I teach math.
Okay. Now, that's probably a subject that students think, math class. What do you do in your class that's exciting? What in your class keeps you going? What keeps you going back to the classroom every day?
Well, number one, I love Southwest. I love the teachers, I love the students, I love the parents. I have met so many wonderful people by being at Southwest that I would not have met otherwise. I like to empower the students. I want them to love math as much as I do. That's my goal. And to figure out that it's fun, it's not work. They can get it having a little bit of fun too. That's my main goal.
And there is probably something about the students that you love and just really love the time that you're with them and have them in your classroom.
Oh, I do. They're special. They really are special. They're so thoughtful. They're kind. They love when you notice that they've had a new haircut. They love when you notice that they have new shoes on. We have a good time.
It's great. It's great. Now, I imagine over the years, you have taught a lot of lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular lesson that you think your students have taught you? What have you learned from your students?
I think they have taught me over all these years to be more understanding, more patient, listen more, and talk less when I'm talking to them. Yeah,
That's
understanding.
Good. And you know, if we brought some of your students in today and said, "What do you think about Miss Adams?" What do you think they would say, or what would you hope they would say about you?
I would hope they would say those things I just named, that she did listen and she did care. I think if the students know you care, truly care, they will just jump through hoops for you. They'll do, the work. They love somebody to care for them.
Now, what would you say to someone who is a new teacher? What would be your advice to a new teacher?
Again, it goes back to me for the caring. I think if they truly care for those students, they know it.
And the students do know. They realize.
They absolutely know whether you care or not. And if you're there for the right reason, you do care. And they will just work their hearts out for you. It makes a big difference. But you have to be sincere. Mm-hmm. You have to truly care.
Because students have a way of knowing.
They do. They really do.
And they and I think students want that. They want a teacher who sincerely cares about them, and it's a whole lot more than just what's being taught out of the textbook. Mm-hmm. It is.
Oh, it is.
You're doing so much more from students than just teaching them about math.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you teach by how you act and how everybody wants to be treated well, and everybody, deserves respect. So it's all kind of put there together.
It goes together.
The caring, it does.
It does. Now, we mentioned 33 years as a teacher. As you look back on your career, what do you hope is your legacy?
After 33 years, and who knows, maybe another one or two.
We'll see. Or 3 or 4 or 5.
See. Well, I don't know about that.
We'll take them.
We'll see. I would just hope that I have given these students a love for math. Math is in everything we do just about every day. And I would just hope they'd have a love for math like I do. I want them to see that love and to have that love for math. and joy.
And you know, I imagine in the math class, for you, it's a lot more than just teaching numbers and putting numbers together. Because I imagine math takes that critical thinking.
Oh, it
takes
absolutely does.
collaboration, teamwork, and being able to understand how math is important to the real world.
Oh, absolutely.
And making sure that your students know that and they understand that, because you're teaching lessons at the middle school level that will serve them well in the high school and in college and in work and as they grow up.
Our main focus is problem solving. We do everyday problem solving with groups so that they can discuss and with the higher order thinking skills that they need to do these. So there's a lot of that.
Do you have students that tell you maybe later, Miss Adams, I realize now what you were trying to teach us, or what you were trying to explain, or what you wanted us to know?
I have, and just recently, I guess it was about a month ago, a student who is now in the 11th grade came by to visit, and she was saying, we do these balance numbers I do with the groups, and they have to really think and talk and get these numbers worked out. And she said, I remember those balance numbers, she said, and you know, that helped me in chemistry in high school when I had to start balancing those equations. And I went, yes, I'm so glad they remembered. And so they do remember, and they do come back and say.
Well, we all know that you are a force in the classroom at Southwest.
So dear. Thank you.
And we want to, again, congratulate you on the Outstanding Service Award that is presented each year to a deserving teacher in Gaston County, and it's presented by the Gastonia, the Gaston County JCs. And I know they had a banquet and honored you and a number of other people in our community for outstanding service this year. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so
It is
much.
Well deserved, and we appreciate everything that you do at Southwest for our students, and we want you to continue 2, 3, 4, 5 more years maybe.
Thank you.
In our classroom, because you certainly do make a difference.
Thank
Susan
you
Adams
so much.
from Southwest Middle School, we appreciate you being with us here today on GCS Today.
Thank you. I've loved it.
Thank you for watching GCS Today. Stay tuned to Channel 21 for the latest school news and information. I'm Todd Higgins. We look forward to seeing you next time.